Let's see if it's going now.
Oh, Bob said it's working now.
I'm getting it.
You're getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. John said it looks like it's working. I can hear you. Just a minute. Okay, Sean said it's working. Yeah.
So once again, good morning and welcome to Say Just Love and Rio Grande. Sorry it has to be under these circumstances, but my dad was dying when he passed. He had a long, full life, so it was we're grateful to commend him to God and return him to the Heavenly Father. Hope you feel the same way as well. So I'd like to go over the protocols that are in place here. Thank you, first of all, for wearing your mask. Please continue to wear it throughout the Mass. I don't expect you to say your responses loudly. It's hard to talk with these things on and it dries out your mouth. So just say them softly. I know you pray. God hears you. So just say them softly. We will stand. There's no kneeling. At this time, the least amount of things that we touch is the better. So don't worry about the fact that you're in the front row and you don't have a knee or you're not going to be kneeling. The Mass will end. Bring it to conclusion. Do the final farewell for Dr. Purdy. And then at that point then I'll prepare for the communion run. So communion is given after we've completed the Mass, everything. I will go to the table in the gathering space, and then you, the family, you'll come forward, and we'll have you start the procession. So just go on the left-hand side. There's blue hash marks on the floor, and ask even though you're a family unit, please keep the social distance, because it just helps in terms of you step forward to the table. I'll be on one side. Extend your hand. If you're receiving communion, extend your hand over the table. I'll say the body of Christ. Response, amen. I'll put the host in your hand. Don't touch me. I won't touch you. We have the image of the Santo Niño de la Tocha, the Holy Child of la Tocha. Over here, he has his mask on. He's our patron saint during this time, but he's been rebaptized. Santo Niño no Tocha. You no tocha me, I no tocha you. You no tocha. So after you receive communion, keep your mask on when you're near me. Then you step away from me to go to the next blue mark. That's when you can remove your mask, communicate. And since you just received the Lord, we ask you then to proceed out and to go to your vehicle. That's where you do your adoration, your thanksgiving, or spend some time in quiet and prayer, rather than just right away, how was this trip? And you can catch up on that later. Spend some moments in adoration Isabel, I think we'll take the 3 minutes out to you afterwards. Any questions? So thank you very much. I'm going to ask the flight attendants to cross-check and prepare the cabin for departure. The door to the plane has been closed. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God our Father, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. And with your spirit. In the waters of baptism, James died with Christ and rose with him to new life. May he now share with him eternal glory. eternal rest grant unto them, Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. Let us pray. O God, Almighty Father, our faith professes that your Son died and rose again. Mercifully grant that through this mystery, your servant James, who has fallen asleep in Christ, may rejoice to rise again through him, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. Please be seated for the word of God.
A reading from the first book of Kings. Ahab sent all the children of Israel and had the prophets assemble on Mount Carmel. Elijah appealed to all the people and said, "How long will you struggle with this issue? If the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal, follow him." The people, however, did not answer him. So Elijah said to the people, "I am the only surviving prophet of the Lord, and there are 450 prophets of Baal. Give us 2 young bulls. Let them choose one. Cut it into pieces and place it on the wood, but start no fire. I shall prepare the other and place it on the wood, but shall start no fire. You shall call on your gods, and I will call on the Lord. The God who answers with fire is God." All the people answered, "Agreed." Elijah then said to the prophets of Baal, "Choose one young bull and prepare it first, for there are more of you. Call upon your gods, but do not start the fire." Taking the young bull that was turned over to them, they prepared it and called on Baal from morning till noon, saying, "Answer us, Baal." But there was no sign, and no one answered. And they hopped around the altar they had prepared. When it was noon, Elijah taunted them, "Call louder, for he is a god and may be meditating, or may have retired, or may be on a journey. Perhaps he is asleep and must be awakened." They called out louder and slashed themselves with swords and spears, as was their custom, until blood gushed over them. Noon passed, and they remained in a prophetic state until the time for offering sacrifices. But there was not a sound. No one answered, and no one was listening. Then Elijah said to the people, "Come here to me." When the people had done so, he prepared the altar of the Lord that had been destroyed. He took 12 stones for the number of tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the Lord had said, "Your name shall be Israel." He built an altar in honor of the Lord with the stones, and made a trench around the altar, large enough for 2 measures of grain. When he had arranged the wood, he cut up the young bull and laid it on the wood. "Fill 4 jars with water," he said, "and pour it over the burnt offerings and over the wood." "Do it again," he said, and they did it again. "Do it a 3rd time," he said, and they did it a 3rd time. The water flowed around the altar, and the trench was filled with the water. At the time for offering sacrifice, the prophet Elijah came forward and said, "Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and have done all these things by your command. Answer to me that these people may know that you, Lord, are God, and that you have brought them back to their senses. The Lord's fire came down and consumed the burnt offering, wood, stones, and dust, and it lapped up the water in the trench. Seeing this, all the people fell prostrate and said, "The Lord is God. The Lord is God." The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Keep me safe, O God. You are my hope. Keep me safe, O God. You are my hope. Keep me, O God, for in you I take refuge. I say to the Lord, my Lord are you. Keep me safe, O God. You are my hope. They multiply their sorrows who court other gods. Blood libations to them I will not pour out, nor will I take their names upon my lips. Keep me safe, O God, you are my hope. O Lord, my allotted portion and cup, it is you who hold fast my lot. I see the Lord ever before me. With him at my right hand, I shall not be disturbed. Keep me safe, O God, you are my hope. You will show me the path of life, fullness of joys in your presence, the delights at your right hand forever. Keep me safe, O God, you are my hope.
The Lord be with you. And with your spirit. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Glory to you, Lord. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish, but to fulfill. Amen, I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not the smallest letter or the smallest part of a letter will pass from the law until all things have taken place. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do so will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys and teaches these commandments will be called greatest in the kingdom of heaven." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. The first time I would say was in 1981. It was with some priest friends of mine. We had gone to the same seminary, except one who was from Archdiocese of St. Louis. And we got a younger seminarian who had a captain's license to sail the boat. And so we rented a 30-some footer, 36 foot. And we started out from Anacortes, Washington, to go into the Puget Sound, to sail around there. Well, the evening that we didn't set sail, we started motoring, and we're motoring westward, and the sun was setting, and Father Mark Golan, my priest friend from St. Louis, never been on a boat before, either had I. But he went to the bow, and he went to the stern, and he went to the bow, and he went to the stern. And he did this many times. And then it finally dawned on him. He said, we're going to be on this boat for a week. We're either going to love each other or we're going to hate each other. But that your father and your mother spent 30-some years somehow, they learned to love one another on that boat. And so their sailing was fun. It was fun, but there was also an incident where we dropped anchor in a Roche harbor. And since all of us could not go ashore at the same time, well, 3 went ahead and said, we'll come back, we'll get you. So Father Tim, my classmate, he and I had been playing some board game. And once they left, they said, do you want to continue? I said, no. Let's get ready for when they come. Well, we waited, and we waited. And the sun set, and we waited some more. And as it was getting twilight, I said to Tim, that other boat seems to be getting really close to us. And I said, we become unmoored. The anchor has gotten loose. We're drifting. So we threw over the bumpers right away so that in case we bumped against the boat, we wouldn't be damaging their boat. And Jim says, well, what do we do? I said, start the engine. Try to set the anchor again. Do you know how to Well, we had to do something. So we started the engine and we kept going back and forth and trying to drop the anchor. And finally, we set it a little bit so we were not going to bang any boat around us. And after the long, it was dark, and we heard this laughter of a dinghy coming towards the boat. And they're laughing and laughing. And they, because we moved, they're like, where's the boat? and they said, there, that's Lambert, that's his cab. And Mark says, Mark's the one from St. Louis, says to the other two, they're not laughing. It had been like 3 hours. Of course, we were stressed because of the incident of becoming unmoored. And so we thought, well, where were you? And they said, well, there was nothing going on. For 3 hours, there was nothing going on. You could not have come back and told us that. Well, then we got invited on board this one gentleman who had I don't know, like a 50-foot or a 60-foot sailboat. And he was going from Roche Harbor down to Mexico, where I was at your parents' gave sail. And he was showing them all the cabin and the teak and this and that. And I thought, great. You're having a wonderful time. We're stressed here. And that almost was the point where we started to hate one another. We survived the trip. I mention this simply because of the fact that it was a good story. Your dad and your mom, they loved to sail. They learned how to, way before that, they learned how to love one another, even in tight quarters. You all. And that is the love that continues even after storms and difficulties that come. It continues as it does even today. We heard in the first reading that one of the readings I love about the scriptures of the prophet Elisha, this battle between him and the prophets of all, because it's for the heart, the battle is for the heart and soul of Israel. You're not different. You're just part of the same old. Whereas God called, no, you're my people. I called you to be. I gave you my law. A law that Jesus references in the gospel today. I give it to you not to oppress you, not to hold you down, but to give you life. Follow this and you will live. So it's for the battle of the heart, the will, the soul of Israel. And there's 400 and some prophets of all. They're doing their dance and they're doing their prophetic trance. And it points out that if something is not of God, it's going to be futile. They call and dance and slash and blood flow. And Elijah teases, taunts, call louder. Maybe he's asleep. Maybe he's on a trip. Maybe he's sailing out of the Mediterranean. Call him back. Oh, come on. If it's not of God, it's going to be futile. And all that they did came to nothing. The sacrifice that they had poured on their altar, nothing happened. So Elijah rebuilds the altar with the 12 stones to symbolize the unity of Israel, the 12 sons of Jacob. Prepares the sacrifice and then ups the ante. Pour some water on it. Pour some more water on it. Pour some more water on it until the water is overflowing. Now how in the world is that going to unite? In our way of looking at things, it's not going to unite. Is it possible that wood does not burn? But if something is of God, for God, nothing is impossible. And so the fire comes down, consumes the sacrifice, laps up all the water, the wood is burned completely, and the people finally come to their senses. The Lord is God. The Lord is God. Not that you have lost your senses, but if you have, this is the time to see that this too is a work of God. The life, the death of James Purdy, and is being raised up to new life is a work of God. I can't bring it back to life. Neither can you. As much as you love him, as much as the affection you have for him, you could not hold on to him here in this life. But for us who believe, we see things differently. He's not dead. He's there in July. For the life that was given to him at baptism, that we recall that very beginning, sprinkling the created remains of holy water that called his baptism. That life what we need to see. We need to come to our senses. We need to declare the Lord is God. The Lord is God. It is His law that we carry in our hearts and in our life. That law which Jesus said, there is no greater law than this. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. As my friend Father Martin said, we'll either love one another or we'll hate each other after this trip. You see, we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. And we have to learn how to live together on this boat in a way that shows kindness, patience, generosity, understanding, compassion, mercy, forgiveness. Tim and I finally, we forgave, but we did not learn to forget. Telling the story, this is what, 30-some years later, I'm still telling the story. We're on the same boat. And we'll either love one another or we'll hate one another. It's a much better ride when we love one another. Much enough to spare for this earth. For our brother James led us straight from what Jesus Christ has said, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me shall live, even in death. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. When you console Martha and Mary in their distress, draw near to us who mourn for James, and dry the tears of those who weep. We pray to the Lord. You wept at the grave of Lazarus, your friend. Comfort us in our sorrow. We pray to the Lord. You raise the dead to life. Give to our brother eternal life. We pray to the Lord. You promise paradise to the repentant feet. Bring James to the joys of heaven. We pray to the Lord. Our brother was washed in baptism, anointed with the Holy Spirit. Give him fellowship with all your saints. We pray to the Lord. He was nourished with your body and blood. Grant him a place at the table in your heavenly kingdom. We pray to the Lord. Comfort us in our sorrow at the death of James. Let our faith be our consolation and eternal life our hope. We pray to the Lord. And we also pray for the intention of the deceased Ida V. Rivera. May she rest in peace. We pray to the Lord. God of holiness and power, accept our prayers on behalf of your servant James. Do not count his deeds against him, for in his heart he desired to do your will. As his faith united him to your people on earth, so may your mercy join him to the angels in heaven. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Please be seated. Lord God of all creation, for through your goodness we have received the bread we offer you, fruit of the earth, the work of human hands that will become for us the bread of life. Blessed be God forever. Blessed are you, Lord God of all creation, for through your goodness we have received the wine we offer you, fruit of the vine and work of human hands that will become our spiritual drink. Blessed be God forever. Pray, brothers and sisters, that my sacrifice and yours may be acceptable to God, the Almighty Father. May the Lord bless the sacrifice and for the praise of the Lord of his for our good and all the Church. Amen. As we humbly present to you these sacrificial offerings, O Lord, for the salvation of your servant James, we beseech your mercy, that he who did not doubt your Son to be a loving Savior may find in him a merciful Judge who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen. The Lord be with you. Lift up your hearts. Let us give thanks to the Lord our God. It is right and just. It is truly right and just, our duty and our salvation, always and everywhere, to give you thanks. Lord, Holy Father, Almighty and eternal God, through Christ our Lord. For he is the salvation of the world, the life of the human race, the resurrection of the dead. Through him the host of angels adores your majesty and rejoices in your presence forever. May our voices, we pray, join with theirs in one chorus of insult and praise as we acclaim. Holy, holy, holy Lord, God of hosts, heaven and earth are full of your glory. Hosanna in the highest. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest. You are indeed holy, O Lord, the fount of all holiness. Make holy, therefore, these gifts, we pray, by sending down your Spirit upon them like the dewfall, so that they may become for us the body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. At the time he was betrayed and entered willingly into his passion, he took bread and giving thanks broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and eat of it. For this is my body, which will be given up for you." In a similar way, when supper was ended, he took a chalice, and once more giving thanks, he gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and drink from it. For this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which will be poured out for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me." The mystery of faith. We proclaim your death, O Lord, and profess your resurrection until you come again. Therefore, as we celebrate the memorial of his death and resurrection, we offer you, Lord, the bread of life and the chalice of salvation, giving thanks that you have held us worthy to be in your presence and minister to you. Humbly we pray that, partaking of the body and blood of Christ, we may be gathered into one by the Holy Spirit. Remember, Lord, your church spread throughout the world, and bring her to the fullness of charity, together with Francis our Pope, and John our Bishop, and all the clergy. Remember also our brothers and sisters who have fallen asleep in the hope of the resurrection, and all who have died in your mercy. Welcome them into the light of your face. Remember your servant James, whom you have called from this world to yourself. Grant that he who was united with your Son in a death like his may also be one with him in his resurrection. Have mercy on us all, we pray, that with the blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God, with blessed Joseph, her spouse, with the blessed apostles and all the saints who have pleased you throughout the ages, We inherit to be co-heirs to eternal life, and we praise and glorify you through your Son, Jesus Christ. Through him and with him and in him, O God, Almighty Father, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, all glory and honor is yours forever and ever. Amen. At the Savior's command, informed by divine teaching, we dare to say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Deliver us, Lord, we pray, from every evil. Graciously grant peace in our days, that by the help of your mercy we may be always free from sin and safe from all distress, as we await the blessed hope and the coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Lord Jesus Christ, who said to your apostles, Peace I leave you, my peace I give you. Look not on our sins, but on the faith of your church, and graciously grant the peace and unity in accordance with your will, who live and reign forever and ever. Amen. The peace of the Lord be with you always. And with your spirit. Let us bow to one another and offer a sign of peace. Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world. Have mercy on us. Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world. Have mercy on us. Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world. Grant us peace. Behold the Lamb of God, behold him who takes away the sins of the world. Thus let us call to the supper of the Lamb. Lord, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but only say the word, and my soul shall be healed. Let perpetual light shine upon him with your saints forever, for you are merciful. Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him with your saints forever, for you are merciful. Be seated. And for those who are participating online, we make an act of spiritual communion. My Jesus, I believe that you are present in the most holy sacrament. I love you above all things, and I desire to receive you into my soul. Since I cannot at this moment receive you sacramentally, come at me spiritually into my heart. I embrace you as if you were already there, and unite myself wholly to you. Never permit me to be separated from you. Amen. Let us pray. Lord God, the Son left us in the sacrament of his body, food for the journey. Mercifully grant that, strengthened by it, our brother James can come to the eternal table of Christ, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen. baptism, James was welcomed into the church, and today we say farewell as we commend him to the Lord with our prayers. May the Lord receive him into the company of the saints and give him the fullness of life promised to him in baptism. We pray also for you, the family, for consolation, that especially for those of you who are participating online and we're not able to be present, we join with you. We know your presence with us. We pray for your grandfather, your great-grandfather, that he may be at peace. So let us commend him to the Lord by our prayers, symbolized by this incense which rises up to God on his behalf. There was some incense. Receive his soul and present him to God the Most High. Receive his soul and present him to God the Most High. Saints of God, come to his aid. Come to meet him, angels of the Lord. Receive his soul and present him to God the Most High. May Christ who called you take you to himself. May angels lead you to Abraham's side. Receive his soul and present him to God the Most High. Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. Receive his soul and present him to God the Most High. Into your hands, Father of mercies, we commend our brother James with the sure and certain hope that together with all who have died in Christ, he will rise again with him on the last day. We give you thanks for the blessings which you bestowed upon James in this life. They are signs to us of your goodness and of our fellowship with the saints in Christ. Merciful Lord, turn toward us and listen to our prayers. Open the gates of paradise to your servant and help us to remain to comfort one another with assurances of faith until we all meet in Christ and are with you and with our brother forever. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. And in peace, we will take our brother to his place of rest. So, this concludes, and now communion rite. Because the family is small, I'm gonna have you come forward. You'll come forward here, and then return to your spot. And you'll do your adoration, your thanksgiving in place. Okay. After that, after I receive for the family, then I'll go to the gathering space and we'll start communion for you as usual. And then once when I come back, and that's when you can begin. So,
repeat your affirmation. Who's going to carry the other? Who's going to carry the urn?
Right there.
Yeah, you can get the picture as well.
That would.
Let's follow the
Everybody else.
in there and goes up down the hallway to the right. And you see the water fountain.
Down the hall to the left. Down the hall to the left. 78 years old.
We're staying at like
I'm at 68.
I used to do that on my job. And then you gave one over here.
yeah, it's easier this way. And going home will
You
take
never
it.
turn down
What?
opportunity.
Going home will take it.
Did you this
He does sound
sound,
lovely.
yeah, we knew for him. I do the love of ground. I remember he used to go all the time, yeah, he lost it. That's just
So we lost our little doggy, our last one, and I thought of you, and I thought, oh, it's so hard.
It was terrible. Oh, I'm up. But I got another one right away.
Wait, I have
We haven't gotten any.
Wait,
We've lost
Nick.
two now.
We got too many
I have to be
squirrels.
What do you mean?
No, you should have seen 20 million texts this morning. I'm trying to sleep late, and here it is.
So I went and got another one, but this
Okay, so here's the news.
is
Dustin.
a Jack Russell.
We're still on. Oh, gosh.
She's a Purdy.
A black thing, yes.
Oh, okay. I will. Dustin worked on the ship. Came home, temperature of 104. So Allison moved into another bedroom, and he's at home. Where?
Talked about sailing.
Where's the film?
Do you see it fine? Sure. Right there. Perfectly.
Too loud. Oh, I know I'm live. It doesn't matter.
If we stay back, you could take off your mask so we can understand you.
I'll take off my mask. Yeah. I'm waiting for Tony though, so
Stand here a second.
you can stand and wait because that's fine. Thank you.
Have fun, so we'll travel.
I feel like one of those TV reporters waiting till it goes on.
Well,
How
we
much
came
of these
from
you have in
It
there?
was 100.
About there.
I'll keep the paper.
Oh, yeah?
Still working there. Well, I'm sorry, but we're waiting for Tony. Well, he kind of helped me prepare it, so.
Is he in the confessional?
What? He's in the confessional. Yeah, he's in the confessional.
You'll be there forever.
Is it picking up sound? It will now, right? Yeah. That looks so nice.
Well, somebody else talk.
We should have put you in front of the yucca though.
You could do that. You can go anywhere.
You know,
Yeah,
after
it's
he
much
comes out,
nicer.
you thought we're all going to leave anyway, so this is a good thing.
What? Move? Back? Forward?
Hi to all my grandchildren, not my children and their children, and my grandchildren, all over the
Yeah, everybody
country.
say hi. Me too. You know, Mom, she's a show off.
Everybody, why don't you all come in?
Come say hi.
That's why I did it, Keita. Got tired of looking at you.
Hello to everyone that we left at home. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it. Bye. We don't want to, Jim.
Okay.
Hello to everyone, and we'll sit with you.
Okay, Bob, Linda.
Here comes
She
Linda.
comes.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, kids. Thanks for joining.
Go on, dude.
The ones that owe me money.
Hi, guys.
So how's everything going at home? Take care of the grandchildren. Yeah, you're up.
Keita.
You're all. No, she's right there.
Tell me where you want Okay? Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
James Howard Purdy III, DDS. You can know a person by what they love, and Dad loved a lot of things. We all know the biggie. Dad saved a copy of this passage with his very important papers. It's handwritten by Robert Manry, who sailed the smallest boat on the record across the Atlantic Ocean, a 13-foot boat called Tinkerbell. I find immense pleasure in the gurgle and splash of a boat propelled by a direct force of nature, the snapping of canvas and the humming of rigging in the fresh breeze, the rattle of ropes running through blocks, the crying of gulls, the lift and heave of a buoyant hull, the pressure of wind against my body, the sting of flying spray, the sight of billowing sails and the swirling foam of the wake. To me, nothing made by man is more beautiful than a sailboat underway in fine weather. And to be on that sailboat is to be as close to heaven as I expect to get. It is unalloyed happiness. You can know a person by what they love. Dad loved a lot of things. Look at the 6, now 12 of us. He was a combination of love and all business. I'll prove it with a letter he wrote to me. Context: he had come down to Mexico with us in fall of 2008 to help us launch our boat. Mom didn't want him to go, and I was worried about her being upset and asked him to let me know how everything was at home after we sent him home on the bus. Very unlike Dad. First of all, look at the paper he wrote me on.
That was
And also, no date. Do you ever remember him not dating something?
No.
Well, let me read you the letter. Hi. Don't worry about anything. Just thought you'd like to know. I've just been home for 24 hours, so can't tell you much. Rita likes her job very much, but it's for odd days of the week, and they guarantee 20 hours a week, maybe more soon. Greg and his family visit the last week of January, and right now the Florida trip with Jim looks doubtful. Not anything about any trips for me. Nothing has been said yet. Mac glad to see me, and everything is fine. I turned on the Purdy charm. Thanks again. I loved it. Dad. That's Dad. Okay. If I had to describe Dad in one sentence, I would say he was a man of absolute loyalty and devotion, complete integrity in all aspects of his life, and a very thrifty introvert with flashes of good humor. It all started on February 15th, 1945, in Santa Fe, New Mexico. That was the day that Captain Jim Purdy flew his C-47 transport plane into Santa Fe to deliver wounded patients to what was then an Army hospital used to treat wounded service personnel returning from the war. Jim would stay overnight at the La Fonda Hotel and then be on his way the next day to go pick up another load of wounded soldiers. But on this fateful evening, he found himself in the lounge at the La Fonda, sipping his favorite martini, when he happened upon one Marquita Guerin y Cibibaca. And of course, it's all history from that point on. They were married soon after, and guess what? They started having kids. The first one was born in Omaha, Nebraska, where Dad was attending dental school. Of course, the first child was me, the best and the brightest. After dental school, Dad set up his practice in Las Vegas, New Mexico. That's where the next genius was born. That would be Jim.
No.
I was born
He was born in Omaha.
I'm born in Vegas.
The genius got it wrong here.
So much for the genius.
He practiced in Las Vegas until he moved the family to Santa Fe in 1955. Like good Catholics, Jim and Marquita kept having kids. Next came Daddy's little button nose.
No, I was
Carmen.
before then.
She was button nose.
Then little Bobby, with blonde hair and a high-pitched voice. Later came the two cuties, Ramona and Dolores, who were sweet, lovable, and nice, and they still are.
No.
Anyway, that kind of sums up the family, but this is really about our dad. What kind of a man was he? I can truthfully say that the IRS saved their time and money by not auditing him all the years he paid taxes, because they would have found absolutely nothing. Dad was the most honest man I have ever known. He was meticulous in everything he did. He kept a daily log until he sold his boat. In his logs, he summarized all his daily activities. I read the log he kept when they were in Omaha. In it, he accounted for every penny that came and went. But on this particular day, when he balanced the budget, he found it off by 1 cent. He entered 1 cent, rolled under the refrigerator, unable to retrieve. He was always a man of integrity and a man of his word. You could always count on him to do the right thing. I remember how thrifty he was. I remember one time when I was in nursing school, Mom would come to pick me up on Friday so I could spend the weekend at home. On this particular Friday, she was late. So I called home collect to see where she was. Anyway, Dad answered the phone, and before I could get the words out of my mouth, Dad said, "She left 5 minutes ago. Anything else?" I said, "No." He was a man of few words and could be pretty frugal. Remember the time at our Thanksgiving dinner when Frisky, a big black Labrador retriever, grabbed the turkey carcass off the table headed down the driveway? Dad chased her, caught the dog, took the carcass back, washed it in the sink, and announced he planned to make turkey frame soup with that carcass. He was kind of an introvert. He valued his family very much and was proud of each and every one of the kids. He loved to have everybody gathered around for a party or just to get together. But he did not have very many close men friends of his very, very own. The closest relationship was his friendship with Monsignor Pat Smith of Cristo Rey. He considered Father Pat his best friend. I believe it was because they were kindred spirits. They got along with great, and he was with Father Pat when he died. It was devastating for Dad. It took him a long time to reconcile that loss. I know, because he reminded me of it every single 4th of February that Monsignor Pat had died. Another man Dad was fond of was Tom T. Tom and Dad both had the boat bug in their genes. They would spend hours together talking about boats and boat parts while drinking coffee. Tom would go over to Mom and Dad's boat every morning, or Dad would go to Tom's boat. They worked on and finished many projects together, always had plenty to talk about, or not. It didn't matter. Some of the things that I remember best about Dad are really insignificant little moments, but they stand out. I remember him in the Cerro Gordo house, shaving in the bathroom while wearing a cowboy hat. That was because a squirrel had died in the ceiling and maggots were dropping down from the ceiling into the sink. He finally had had enough. He got a fishing rod out with the hook, tried for hours to retrieve the rotting carcass of that squirrel. I don't recall if he ever was able to retrieve it or he just kept wearing the cowboy hat until it finally dried up. He bought a black 1946 Ford sedan from Tony's brother Mike. He proudly drove it into the office every day, wearing his snap-button cowboy shirts and his bolo tie. I also remember the time he asked Tony to help him string a new wire in his boat. The wire had to pass through one of the lazarettes, and for sure Tony was not going to fit into that lazarette, so Dad went in. He was able to string the wire through the lazarette. However, when it came time to extract himself, it became very difficult. Tony spent most of the morning helping him get out of the lazarette. When he did get out, he was calm and collected, but somewhat scraped and bruised from the fiberglass. He was also a man of clear habits. When we lived together with he and Mom in San Carlos, with him and Mom, Tony and I would usually eat 2 meals a day. I was working making telephone calls in the morning. Invariably, Dad would always come into the office and ask, "What time is lunch?" Or around 5 p.m., "What time is dinner?" He liked to eat 3 meals a day at 8, 12, and 5. No variation tolerated. Tony and I would often go to the pool in the evening. We would don our swimsuits and towels and head for the pool. Dad would always ask, "Are you going swimming?" Tony would say, "No, we just thought we'd put on our swimsuits and walk around the park." Dad loved that joke every single night. Believe me, we loved every minute over the years that we got to spend with him and Mom. 53 years ago today, he walked me down the aisle in Cristo Rey Church. Happy anniversary, Tony.
Wow.
I miss his smile. I miss his laughter. And most of all, I miss just having him around to love. We could not have done it any better. I know that each of you have your individual experiences with Dad. If you'd like to share them with us, feel free to do so as soon as I finish here. In order to finish, I want to read a short poem I hope we can all relate to. Author is unknown. Death is nothing at all. It does not count. I have only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it is. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we live so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way that you always used. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes that we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word it always was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is this death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just round the corner. All is well. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you, Peter.
And I did think of your anniversary. I know. I remembered that this morning.
Happy anniversary, guys. Isn't that a coincidence?
Thank you.
Wow.
Anybody want to say anything? No?
Oh, good.
That one sentence you described him as perfect. It is.
Yeah, that was him.
Thank you, Nick. I must
You're welcome.
did most of the writing. That's why he didn't know where Jim was born. Or Carmen.
Should have known that.
I didn't